And now to the most outrageous and sickening element of the aftermath to Charlie Kirk's assassination in cold blood. Everyone saw it. I mean, have you? Or have you not seen the up-close footage, zoomed in, of blood coming out of his neck? The impact, the blood pouring out, the slumping. It's unbelievable. I mean, you think about the long-term psychological and development effects on children. You know there's 13-year-old boys running around like, hey, check this out, check this out. You're not going to believe it. I mean, kids, with nightmares, and developing intrusive thoughts, hypervigilance and fear to be out anywhere in public. A view that the world is unsafe. What a way to live. Dulled empathy, desensitization later in life. I mean, can't find the horror and tears, when they're appropriate. Forget about fear. What about sowing hate and later adopting sick behavior themselves? I mean, it's unbelievable. Joining us right now is Dr. Lisa Pion-Berlin. She's the president and CEO of Parents Anonymous, a mental health expert who counsels families. Dr. Berlin, we can't affect the politics immediately. You nor I. But what do you see as the greatest threat here, and what can parents do?
Well, thank you for having me on. You can just call me Dr. Lisa since my last name is so complicated. And thank you for addressing this. Parents really need to step up. The trauma is real, what you talked about. Watching a video of watching somebody killed violently will be sustainable in kids' brains of all ages. So even up to the age 26, our brain is still developing. So any of those things we watch over and over again are going to create unnecessary fear. It's going to give them the impression of, wow, is this what everyday life is about? So how do they walk to school, go on the playground, go visit their church or anywhere else where the fear factor is being elevated by these videos? And I agree with you. Should they be just public fodder for anybody to do? Parents need to talk about these issues with their kids. They need to step up and have honest conversations. And if they see their kids having sleeping patterns, they're not eating, they're worried. Is this going to happen to me, Mom? Is this going to happen to my dad? Is this going to happen to my sister or my brother? They will personalize it because that's what kids do. Their world is very small. It's where they go to school, where they go to church, where they play with their friends. And they will see this as the real world. It will be a reality for them, which will have traumatized them for a long time to come. So parents really need to step in and say, we're not going to watch that. And here's why. Let's talk about what's going on in the world. And it's very hard to talk about this kind of violence and hate, but it's real and it's affecting people all over the place. So the more you talk about it, you take it out of the closet. It's actually Suicide Prevention Month in September all over America. If we don't talk about our people feeling very sad and saying they don't want to live anymore, we can't prevent anything. So talk is really important. But you also want to be, as a parent, sensitive to how your kid is. And every kid is not the same. And I don't mean they're just their age. I'm saying there's sensitivities and that they see totally desensitized by this violent video, which has been going viral for, 48 hours now or 24. It's going to keep going and going. Nobody's taking it down. And it's just morphing in so many ways.
Not to mention the young Ukrainian model, Irina Veretska, on the train, watching her get slain. There's a video that's out there. This guy coming up behind her and slicing her neck. I mean, it's like, and she slumps over. I mean, and it's like,
and who would feel safe going on a train tomorrow in New York or on a bus or anywhere else when you see that? This kind of violence, gratuitous violence, that's why our movies have ratings, right? So if it says R, your 10-year-old can't go to that movie. They shouldn't be going to that movie for a variety of reasons. And it's violence and sex and other kinds of things. So we regulate certain things, but the internet and the social media arena has left everything out for every parent to feel helpless. How can I stop my child by being influenced by this thing? Well, first of all, you can restrict when your child uses the phone, okay? And you can also talk to them about, it's not good for you to watch that. I'm not watching it because it makes me sad. It makes me upset. Let's talk about it. Let's not watch these images over and over. You mentioned the desensitization. That is for real.
The problem is, it's dopamine, right? So especially when you get a video on your phone and it says sensitive content, don't open. That's like, okay, open. I mean, as soon as you see oh my God, what's in there? And so they open. I mean, I don't. Yes, lots of conversation. At the good old fashioned dining room table. That's important. Text threads with your kids. Make sure you know if something comes out like that. Have they seen it? Immediately go to them and find out. I do think parents of the world have got to rally up and do what politicians are failing to do, and that is get in the face of big tech, because they're making money hands over fist, and these algorithms are feeding this type of thing to everyone because it's trending so fast.
Parents set forth a lot of values. They may decide you've got to do your homework by this time, or no TV, or no video games. The same thing about the internet and a phone. If you're giving your 10-year-old a phone, or an 8-year-old a phone, or a 14-year-old phone, you're a parent. The rules of your house are yours, and your values are yours. And so you need to restrict that, because if they're streaming all night long, people need to turn their phone off at night. Also, the radiant light doesn't help you sleep very well. And kids need to have a time where they're not on that phone. And if you look at how many hours people are scrolling on the phones, even adults, they might be looking at the happy videos, but then the bad videos come up. It's impacting us in all kinds of ways that we don't even know directly. And then all of a sudden we're not sleeping, and the kids are moody, and we're moody. It's affecting everywhere we go, because you're starting to think, can I ride a train? Can I get on the subway? Can I get on a bus? Am I safe walking to my car? Maybe not, because there are people out there who take a knife or take a gun and shoot people dead. So whatever the motivation is irrelevant, because the imaging going over and over again is imprinting in our brains. It's affecting our well-being. It's affecting how we feel. It's affecting everything about us. And to ignore this and say it's nothing is ridiculous. So parents, teachers, and schools need to step up and have these conversations. I love the fact, that schools have said, put the cell phone away. We're locking it up today.
Always
because
should.
Kids are doing this. How can you learn algebra if you're not paying attention? I'm sorry. And I think parents can set more restrictions, whether or not the tech companies are going to take these things down or say everything is free speech and anything goes, then it goes back to the parents.
Yep. You
rule the roost in your family. It's your values, but don't ignore what it's doing to people. When kids say, oh, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing.
It's not enough. It's not enough for a parent to say, God, these tech companies are terrible. They're making money. They're reporting to shareholders. They're not going to stop. It really is, you can be a good father, you can be a good mother, but to be a good parent these days takes a lot of, proactive work. That's for sure. Dr. Lisa Pion-Berlin, we thank you so much for that. Thanks for helping us out. Let's encourage the conversation. Holy crap. My kids are older.
Please call our helpline. Can I just say that, Billy, real quick?
Please.
We're open 24/7. So you're a parent or youth, you need to text us, call us. We're here to talk to you about your fears, your worries, or how to approach your kids. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Appreciate that. 855-427. And the last four, there it is, 2736. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, Dr. Lisa, very well spoken, very well said. We got to do better, man. We have to protect our kids. I'm sick thinking of 13-year-olds seeing that, not knowing how to process. It's a disgrace. So many young eyes, right? How many? Oh, God. You can see a 13-year-old boy like, hey, dude, oh, my God, did you see this, dude? Like it's real life Call of Duty or Counter-Strike 2 or one of these, video games. This is real life. I mean, I grew up in a world where, old fart here, but we're, news division editors and management debated heavily what was appropriate to show. Not anymore. The more alarming and horrifying, the better, right? We got to, you got to keep upping the dose on people. The tech bros are sucking up to the president like crazy, donating his, to his libraries and inaugural committees, so they can be free to innovate. But I think innovation cannot come at the cost of poisoning our kids. Literally, cut it out. Congress set strict standards and punish violations, I think, with licenses to operate. I'm not a censorship guy, but when it comes to kids, come on. How in God's name are people not more outraged on that front? Jesus. Like I said, we saw the girl on the train. The Ukrainian girl who just moved here, escaped Ukraine to come to this beautiful America. And the billionaire tech bros who travel with their armed security details and have, they've already purchased their wilderness compounds for the eventful retreat. They have no conscience about it. I think it's a shame. I'm going to tell you this, the next president I vote for is going to be sworn on the record to do something about it. A research-backed protection of minors. It's got to happen.